Welcome to the Patriotic Pulpit. I am Bill Lockwood. I've said for a long time that the major issue that Americans face is the border. I've thought that for many, many years, not just in the last few years where all the Americans are now waking up saying, hey, we got a big problem regarding the border. And now the polls are showing that Americans indeed are very, very concerned about the border. However, what we are seeing now goes far beyond the pale of anything that you might have imagined. The headlines in Gateway Pundit, an article written by Jim Hoft, reads this way: Treason. The Biden regime admits flying 320,000 illegal immigrants secretly to at least 43 airports in the United States to lessen the number of border crossings. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one reason why, and let me just say, first of all, this is not simply about votes. This is what I get tired of hearing Republicans saying, well, they're simply trying to import votes. That may be part of fringe benefits, but that is not really what's happening here. That's not why this is being done. Matter of fact, I'll say it this way: the Democrats can steal the elections. They've been tilting the elections. They've been mail-in balloting. You can't have a secure election. We don't have integrity of elections. We see those news clips coming out every single day. We were suspicious of it in the last election where Joe Biden defeated Donald Trump. We were suspicious that this is not a free election. So the Democrats have been able to steal elections, been tilting elections, been buying elections for a long time. As a matter of fact, they illegally, last election cycle, they illegally said about judges to change the laws themselves, which is illegal for them to do, and allow mail-in balloting, mail-in voting, ballot harvesting, extended the time period when votes can be cast, all these kinds of things. The Democrats have been doing that for a long time. So the real issue is why is this taking place regarding the absolute crashing of the gates of America? And Joe Biden not only crashing the gates, but now from different countries in the world, flying illegals into the different states of America in the secrecy of night. Why is that taking place? I'll tell you why: because the Democrats hate America. They hate America. We'll talk about that more in just a little bit, but there is no other explanation for it. I'd like for someone to give me a rational explanation, because this is absolutely defies imagination. Number two, I want to make mention of before we look at the article. Do you want to know why the bipartisan bill that just came out of the Senate, which the Democrats are all piping, saying, you know what, it's a bipartisan bill, allows 5,000 illegals per day, and then we'll shut the border, blah, 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 blah. Not only is it insufficient, that is actually a treasonous, it is actually undercutting the very foundations of America. I don't care if Republicans are in on it. I tell you what, those Republicans are so weak-kneed and so yellow-spined, I cannot understand why in the world we cannot enforce the laws that we have on the books. We have a totally lawless president right now, totally lawless executive branch. It doesn't matter whether you pass so many bills or whatever bills or no bills or all these bills in the world. It makes no difference, does it? If they're going to fly illegals, direct flight from foreign countries into America, then it doesn't make any difference how many are coming across the border, does it? This is treasonous, and there's no other word for it. This is the most startling news I've heard. So let me go through this article. If you haven't heard the news already, it's just absolutely breathtaking and stunning. Jim Hoft writes it: Revelations have emerged that the Biden regime has been operating secret charter flights to transport illegal immigrants from foreign airports to various U.S. cities. This covert operation has been ongoing amidst an unprecedented influx of illegal aliens across the southern border. Customs and Border Protection, that is CBP, an agency under Alejandro Mayorkas, Department of Homeland Security, has been at the forefront of these operations, which have remained undisclosed to the public. Now, why do you suppose they want them undisclosed? Well, everybody knows why. And so it makes no difference what the Senate says or what bill they may pass and what Republicans may oppose. as far as the bills are concerned and what we're not signing on to, it doesn't make any difference because this president is the most lawless that I've ever seen in my life. The Center for Immigration Studies, a think tank known for advocating tighter immigration controls, reported that these obscure flights have facilitated the entry of approximately 320,000 illegal aliens into at least 43 different airports in the United States. In other words, he's simply bypassing the border completely. These figures were disclosed for the period ranging from January through December 2023. I don't understand why it is that Joe Biden is not brought on trial right now and brought on trial for impeachment. Why is this not the case? This is absolutely lawless. It's treasonous. It is the destruction of America. It has been suggested that the CBP-1 mobile application played a pivotal role in the operation. Now, the app, which was originally intended to simplify the asylum application process, appears to have been repurposed to grant travel authorization and temporary humanitarian release to individuals from various countries. The migrants, once approved via CBP-1, have been allowed to enter and remain in the United States for up to 2 years under a special parole provision, during which time they are also eligible to work. This has occurred notwithstanding the lack of legal status for these individuals to reside in the country. So Jim Hoft at this point quotes the Daily Mail. The administration first said it would not reveal which airports the undocumented aliens were transported to, citing a law enforcement exception in the refusal to hand over information. You know, all of those libs who talked about Donald Trump and being like Hitler. This is Hitler right now. This is the iron fist of totalitarian government in the secrecy of night, violating our laws, refusing to disclose to the public. Does that sound any different than a communist nation? No. No, if the nation were no larger than Washington, D.C., we would be hand in hand with communist China right now. But new information from CIS, the Daily Mail continues, the lawsuit reveals that the locations were not disclosed due to fear of bad actors who would inflict harm on public safety, or the information would create law enforcement vulnerabilities. Oh, in other words, we may have protesters unarmed like January 6th out there singing songs about God bless America, standing peacefully and desirous of coming back to the rule of law. We might have people like that, and we might have people such as conservative news outlets actually taking pictures of what's going on. Yes, they're vulnerable, all right. CBP lawyers wrote that revealing the airports would reveal information about the relative number of individuals arriving and thus resources expended at particular airports. That would in turn reveal operational vulnerabilities that could be exploited by bad actors, me, altering their patterns of conduct, adopting new methods of operation, and taking other countermeasures. We haven't even seen insurrection yet. I know the libs continue to talk about insurrection. They haven't seen insurrection yet. There's no insurrection. Insurrection is where people take arms and go to get Washington, D.C. and take it over. I haven't seen anything like that. From Daily Mail continuing, they added this could thereby undermine CBP's law enforcement efforts to secure the United States borders. What a joke and what a lie. The bigger the lie, the more they tell it, and the more they tell it, the more the Democrats love it, seemingly. Elon Musk weighs in on the issue. He says, this is what he learned about when he found out about all of these secret flights and to all of these airports. This administration is both importing voters and creating a national security threat from unvetted illegal immigrants. It is highly probable that the groundwork is being laid for something far worse than 9/11. Just a matter of time, he wrote on X. Musk added, it is obvious to anyone who is not a fool that this administration is deliberately importing vast numbers of illegals. No grand conspiracy theory is needed to explain this. just simple incentives. They're far more likely to vote Democrat than Republican, and everybody knows that. This is why the Democrats are constantly pushing to legalize illegals and will not deport them, even when they are arrested for crime, which otherwise might seem, I don't know, like an opportune time when that is, when they commit crime. But if illegals can beat up an American police officer on camera in Times Square and it be seen by all America, be released without bail and get rewarded with free tickets to California, what more do you need to know? So wrote Elon Musk. He said also, it is obvious to anyone who is not a fool that this administration is deliberately importing vast numbers of illegals. That's exactly what's taking place. People who follow this and support this, absolutely foolhardy and foolish. The United States Constitution defines treason as the only crime that betrays the allegiance to the United States. It is defined in Article 3, Section 3, Clause 1. Levying war against the United States, number one. Number two, adhering to the enemies of the United States. Biden is committing treason by aiding illegal aliens as they invade our country through the southern border and destroy America's security and sovereign borders. Adhering to the enemies of the United States. That is definition of treason in the Constitution. Interesting that everything the Democrats wanted to accuse Donald Trump of is that which they are guilty of. This is the most treasonous thing I've ever heard. So I'm asking this question, why is Biden not being impeached right now by Congress? Instead, you have Democrats in the Senate who are trying to craft a bill somehow to keep Donald Trump off the ballot. That means they want what's taking place. What does that mean? Bottom line, the Democratic Party is led by people who hate America. They're acting treasonous, supporting Joe Biden. That's the bottom line. And it's not simply about votes. They hate America. They can cheat in mail-in balloting. They hate America. Just listen to the college professorships. If you go to a college classroom, a liberal arts college, are you going to hear people talking about God bless America, love America? No, not at all. Listen to the mainstream media. Are they going to talk about God blessing America and what a great country America has been, providing the greatest freedom that man has ever known? Are you ever going to hear that kind of talk? Are you going to hear talk about the founding fathers, the greatness of these men created the least intrusive government in the history of mankind, and that, as John Adams put it, we are the freest that man has ever been since the time of Adam and Eve? Are you going to hear talk like that? Are you going to hear talk like, well, the founding fathers, even though they had slaves, they knew slavery was wrong, and they wrote it right into the Constitution to get rid of slavery. They gave it a time frame to get rid of it because they knew it was an evil institution. Are you going to hear anybody talk like that about the greatness of the founding fathers? No. All you're going to hear is how bad the founders were, how we conquered the West, American Indian took away their land. We've been practicing imperialism ever since then because we've taken over countries. The Supreme Court yesterday voted 9-0 favoring Trump remaining on the ballot in the different states where Trump was removed by liberal Democrats. And they lose their minds. They're calling for the overthrow of the Supreme Court. No, they're not lawful. They're lawless. And they're going to take America all the way down. Biden is here purposefully, malice aforethought, destroying our country and eating our heart out. And even if Donald Trump gets in this fall, think about the irreparable damage that has been done by the illegal immigration that has come into this country. Donald Trump may be able to deport many of the people. He may be able to deport the majority of the people, but he certainly is not going to be able to deport all of them. And when he starts deporting, what do you think the Democrats are going to do? Well, they're going to remember what happened when he was elected last time, the first day in office. You have Democrats getting out saying they want to blow up the White House. They're getting on Twitter and they're getting on Facebook with a picture severed head of Donald Trump. This is how the Democrats act. No, they're creating irreparable damage to this country. And the bad actors in America will still be here that have been imported by Joe Biden. Only Trump is strong enough to deport the illegal aliens. This is why Nikki Haley really, she doesn't even need to be in the race. She mentions, well, Donald Trump, he's the one. Trouble follows him wherever he goes. That's because he stands on principle. He stands on constitutional principle. And when you stand for the Constitution and principles of right and wrong, you're going to receive the hatred and the vitriol of the left and the Democrats, the Marxists. You're going to receive that. And the people who are not receiving that hatred, they're not standing strong enough. Now, connected with that, I want to go to an article by Wayne Allen Root. Wayne Allen Root is just a great libertarian, a great writer, but he's going to talk about, in this article, what's really behind Joe Biden and all of this. He calls it the Obama curse. We'll be back with more of that in just a moment. Welcome back. Thinking about the open border. I have an article in front of me by Wayne Allen Root. Wayne Allen Root is a great libertarian, a great conservative American. I've had him on the radio show when I had a radio program out of Wichita Falls. But this is simply an article that he wrote, and he called it this way: if you like my story on the Trump miracle, you're going to shudder at my story on the Obama curse. Obama was my college classmate. Obama's fingerprints are all over this international open border catastrophe. Now, I had, as I mentioned, Root on my radio program several years ago. And when Obama was president, when I was on the radio, Wayne Allen Root came on and talked about that Obama had been supposedly his roommate, but he had never met him. No one had ever met him. So Wayne Allen Root really has a good vision on these things, and he has an excellent thought on this particular incident or this particular catastrophe, the open border. So he says, I'm a yin and yang guy. My column here at Gateway Pundit, this is where the article was published last week, titled, Do You Believe in Miracles? This is the Trump miracle, and he said it went viral. It was everywhere. It was read by everyone. I believe Trump is, he says, the chosen one. I believe Trump was sent by God and blessed by God. Trump is supernatural. Trump is a miracle happening right in front of our eyes. I personally wouldn't word it that way, but I do believe God uses people such as Donald Trump to bring back America to where it needs to be. But here's the yin to that yang. Obama is the polar opposite. Obama is a curse upon America. Obama is sent by someone to destroy everything we love and value dearly. America, American exceptionalism, the U.S. Constitution, capitalism, Christian values, secure borders. And add in our friendship with Israel. I believe Obama hates all of that. He's here to destroy it. I don't know if Obama is sent by Satan, Root goes on to say. I don't know if Obama is sent by China and Chinese Communist Party, although he's, I'm sure, friends with them, or our enemies in Russia and Iran who want to destroy America, or all of the above. But I do know Obama right now this is while Joe Biden is president, Root says, I know Obama is the real president, calling all the shots for his brain-dead dementia puppet, Joe Biden. And whoever sent Obama is evil and hates everything I love. I was Obama's college classmate at Columbia University, class of 1983. If you haven't seen my columns for the past 15 years, I never saw Obama once at Columbia. Even though we graduated on the same day, we were both political science majors, both pre-law. Strange, right? But it isn't just me. It's everyone at Columbia, my classmates, even my professors. No one ever saw Obama. But he claims he went there. He claims he was a political science major, I suppose. Pre-law, right there where Wayne Allen Root is. No one knows him. No professor knows him. No one saw him. But he claims he went there, claims he took the same classes as me, claims he graduated on the same day as me. I think he's really the real-life Manchurian candidate. Something is absolutely wrong with this story. Indeed, it is. It's rancid. It smells like deep state propaganda. But one thing I know, whether Obama went to Columbia or not, whether he attended our sister school in communist Russia, would explain why I never saw him. Whether he was a CIA creation handed a Columbia University cover story, whatever it is, whatever scam Obama was running, this much I can tell you, he claims to have been at Columbia studying all the same topics as me. What were some of those topics? One topic was the Cloward-Piven topic. Cloward-Piven was the number one topic taught in Columbia's political science program. His communist or deep state handlers would have made certain Obama studied Cloward-Piven, the Cloward-Piven plan. What is the Cloward-Piven plan? Cloward and Piven, two individuals, created a plan, two radical Marxist Columbia professors, to destroy the United States. And it is simple. Get everyone in America on welfare, every other government handout, every other person on a government handout program. Eventually, the bubble bursts. The whole economy is overwhelmed, collapses under the weight of all the spending and all the debt. That's the Cloward-Piven program. It's a communist Marxist program to destroy America. And once our economy collapses, Root goes on to write, the whole population will beg government to save them. We all become dependent upon Big Brother. America is a communist Big Brother country. Now let me just stop here and say, this is exactly right. As Wayne Allen Root points out and tells us, look around. What is happening on the streets of America? Absolute chaos. It's on the news every day. There are murders and rapes, dismemberments of people that we've never seen in America. This kind of absolute destruction of the American populace, largely by illegals. Why is this happening? Because of the Cloward-Piven program that the Democrats, that is the Marxist Democrats such as Joe Biden, are doing to destroy America, because after a while, people are going to cry for, that's right, Adolf Joe Biden. Look around. Obama's fingerprints are on everything happening. This is a communist takeover combined with a massive foreign invasion. I've been saying the exact same thing for so many years. And a communist color revolution that has divided the country with CRT, DEI, and transgender brainwashing. And a climate change and ESG takeover that has killed our energy independence, fueled massive inflation, bankrupted the middle class, exploded the national debt. And then there's the weaponization of the government, mass censorship of conservatives, persecution of political opponents. Consider Trump and the J6 protesters. All these are the hallmarks of communism. It's all Obama. This is his plan. His fingerprints are all over it. But the open border strategy fits Obama like a glove. Open borders is Cloward-Piven updated. How do you get everyone on welfare? How do you get everyone on government programs? How do you do that? You open the border and invite the world in. And when you invite them in, you pay them to come in. And in foreign countries, you give them debit cards to come in here. And then you give them an app that they can get here easily and quickly. Then you let them get on airplanes without any kind of screening, without even going through any kind of screening process. They don't have to match their driver's license with exactly what it says on the ticket. No, they don't have to do that. Just fly them wherever they want to go. And you overwhelm the system with $500 billion a year of spending to reward these criminals. But that's exactly what we're doing. And in free school for millions for the children, add that in, free airline tickets, free hotel rooms, $5,000 Visa cards upon entry, free legal representation, free health care, tens of millions with no new doctors coming into the program, millions of new criminals, no new cops, millions of illegals bringing disease into our country, no new doctors again, billions spent on NGOs to coordinate this massive undertaking, and you have the Cloward-Piven strategy of Marxist takeover. And as a gigantic bonus, you also get the great replacement to quickly change the voting demographic of America, which keeps Democrats in power forever and ever. Amen. And then you throw in trillions of reparations also. That's tens of trillions in new spending and debt. That's a massive crime wave. That's the destruction of our school system, the court system, the healthcare system. That's crisis, chaos, and utter destruction. That's literally the definition of overwhelm the system. Classic Cloward Piven. Obama's in charge. Obama's coordinating all of this. Obama's getting the fundamental change he promised. He's working the people over he claimed to that are clinging to their guns and Bibles, guns and religion. Obama's also getting revenge on the man that he hates, Donald Trump. Obama grew up in poverty-stricken Indonesia, studying Islam at Indonesian schools, learning hate for powerful, prosperous Christian America, and resentment for powerful, filthy, rich American capitalist business moguls like Donald Trump. And so Obama directed the spying against Trump. He directed the impeachments of Trump. He ordered the persecution indictments of Trump. He directed the communist show trials in New York courts that could drain Trump of his fortune. Now all of it begins to make sense, doesn't it? But brain-dead, diaper-wearing, dementia puppet Joe Biden could never have dreamed this plan up or pulled it off. And up next, I believe Biden will be replaced at the Democrat convention. This is Wayne Allen Root saying this summer by Michelle Obama. Obama wants back in the White House. And by the way, I might add to myself here, and why not? If Joe Biden can win an election, the last election, by not even running, not even campaigning, doing nothing but sitting in his basement in his diapers, if he can win an election that way, why can they not just throw Michelle Obama up there? Whoever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the Democrats because they don't have to campaign. They don't have to go out and try to convince people because they have so much hatred in America that's already stirring the pot. That there's so many brain-dead people who say, I'm going to vote for the Democrat ticket no matter what. And that's what's going on. So it's yin versus yang. Trump is the one who is blessed, I believe, by God. Obama's the curse. The two most famous, most powerful men in modern history are on a collision course to decide the fate of America. If Trump wins this battle, good versus evil, we can make America great again. If Obama wins, that's the end of America.